and thank you for finding your way to my channel today. As we know, the channel, the most disingenuous and uninformational cruise channel on the YouTubes today. Listen, I just want to talk to you about some stuff today that probably nobody else is going to talk to you about, but I'm going to bring it up because I love you. What we're going to go over today are just a few things that you might find necessary when booking with a travel agent. Things you want to look for, things you need to do. Okay? Okay. Let's get started. First, when you find a travel agent, travel advisor, whatever the title you want to give them, you want to make sure that that individual and or company specializes in what you're looking for, what you're hoping to do. You don't want to get a cruise advisor such as myself and say, hey, where are the best places to go hiking in Colorado? I'm overweight. I don't know. I can tell you where to get a good burger. Stop. So, you want to keep that in mind. Keep things like that in mind. But when you after you've done your due diligence, you've determined the person and or company that you want to go with, some of the things you're going to want to make sure of that you have ready when getting your cruise quoted or booked is, of course, you're going to need the names of all of the individuals that are going, their names and ages. That information is very vital for when getting a quote. Once you get a booking, of course, you need names, ages, address, state, blood type, monetary situation, socioeconomic. No, I'm joking. You need their names, ages, where they live, address, passport. Passport information is very important. On your passport, a passport must have 6 months remaining on it after the last day of the cruise. So, if your last day on the cruise is August 28th of 2029, your passport has to be good for 6 months beyond that. They do that in case of emergencies, in case something happens. You may get caught somewhere in a jail, prison. You may get caught for stealing food from a restaurant. We don't know, but that's a safeguard just in case. Also, with your passport, I find it, and a lot of other travelers find it, easy. You want to take your passport out with you. A lot of people want to take their passport out with them so that they can get it stamped in ports of certain countries. Very easy to lose your passport. So as a safety precaution, always make sure you have 1 or 2 hard copies of your passport information with your passport number, expiration date, your photo, all of that. So make sure you photocopy the full passport, but also put it on your phone as well. Just a safety precaution. That way you always have a backup. If you go out in town, you want to take your passport to get it stamped, also make sure you have your phone. Leave the hard copies in the room. If you're not going to have it stamped, leave the passport in the room, have a hard copy with you and your phone. You lose your phone, you have the copy in your pocket, just for safety. If you have a favorite cruise line, you want to know what your status is. You want to know what your number is based on that loyalty status. So each loyalty status or each group, each cruise line, you have a loyalty status and you have a number associated with that. So when you book, make sure that that number is associated with your booking, and any other things like age, prior military service, emergency service groups, things of that nature. You want to make sure that all of that is put in your booking as well, because they may give you a discount with regards to that. And if you have a loyalty status, you want to try and make sure that you have that matched with other cruise lines as well, because there are opportunities with cruise lines that operate, such as RCCL or Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. They cover Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, and Silver Sea. So with those three, you have status with one before you book the cruise, or as you book the, well, you want to do it before you book the cruise. Check into status match. Make sure you get status match. Say you're going on a Royal Caribbean cruise and you have status match with Celebrity. Check with them. Make sure you get status match from Celebrity to Royal. You don't get the points, but you get the status match. Also, and that's also with Silver Sea. What you can also do is, while they still have it on RCCL, Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, you can do points, a transfer. So say you book a cruise with Royal Caribbean, but you have higher point value on Celebrity. At the time that you book your cruise, you can choose to have those points transferred to your Celebrity status once that Royal Caribbean cruise is over. So you take the cruise on Royal, but the points that you gain on that will be transferred over to your Celebrity account, thereby elevating you on that one if you have the higher status on that one, or vice versa, however you want to do it. So with that, I hope you found some of this information interesting. There's not a lot. I didn't have a lot to cover. I just wanted to touch on a few things. There's a lot of things going on in the cruise news today, which I'm sure you've seen. Kids being attacked by drunken people, ships leaving port without pulling in their gangway. That was, I don't know how that happened. It fell right down into the ocean. Another thing you want to know is insurance. Now, there are third-party companies out there that offer cruise protection, such as Allianz or Allianz, Chubb. Those are the two that I'm aligned with, but there are others. You want to make sure that the insurance company that you choose, offers the best for you. My wife and myself, we have an annual cruise with a very high, we don't want anything to surprise us. One of the worst things that you can get caught with is getting on a cruise, getting hurt, and have to be airlifted out. That is big money. And of course, as soon as you get on a ship, your insurance that you have at home is not going to cover you. You're going in international waters, you are going to other countries. Your insurance that you have home when you're sitting in your nice little house is not going to cover you. You have to have some type of additional insurance. The cruise lines also offer insurance for while you're on the cruise. But again, that insurance covers you only while on the cruise, and there are a number of limitations that you might want to look into to be made aware of. So a third-party outside individual insurance company is a good thing to choose. Plus, they also provide you coverage from the time you leave your front door until the time you come back to your front door. So anything in between there, such as hotels, flights, those can all be added into it and covered. And of course, get the limitations that best work for you. Or you could just get a low cost one that just covers you for, I fell and twisted my ankle. You're good to go. But like I said, what you don't want to do is have to get airlifted out or get into another country, have to go to the hospital, because a lot of other countries, their hospitals don't necessarily operate like ours. If you get out there, they're going to want you to pay for medical before they help you. If you don't have any money, sorry. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Thank you for coming. So be sure that with me, I always, if you book with me, I am going to ask you probably infinitum, ad nauseum, to get insurance. Have some type of insurance. If you choose not to get insurance, I do have a waiver that I'm going to send to you and ask you to sign it, because I would not like for you to get out there on a cruise and get hurt and call me and say, hey, listen, this happened. I may say, hey, Did you have insurance? No. I'm gonna say, oh, okay. Yeah. We don't want to have that conversation, so let's get the insurance. It's just a few dollars per, based on what you pay. It's based on what you pay for your cruiser trip total, and they base it on that. So it's a few dollars, and based on whatever you pay, and it's well worth it. As the old saying goes, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and have to pay $50,000 for a helicopter flight. Of course, based on what you're doing, where you're going, if it's a cruise, you always want to know the cruise line that works best for you. The cruise line destinations. A lot of people don't care. They just want to get on a cruise and they just want it to be inexpensive. That's the person that you are. More power to you. My wife and myself, we look at cruises to see the world, as a way to see the world, way to view the world. Beautiful things can be seen on a cruise. Of course, yes, you are limited by time in port, but you get to go there. Others don't have that opportunity. So be happy to do that. Get on a cruise, see the world, see other countries, enjoy their food, listen to their language, sit in the parks, play with other people's dogs, just things like that. When you're out and about in other countries, make sure it is your obligation to know and understand what you can do in certain countries and what you can wear. Very important. Certain European countries now prohibit, particularly with women, they prohibit the wearing of bathing suit tops outside of a beach area. So you cannot walk around downtown or anything with just some shorts and a bathing suit top. You will get either fined and or arrested. So be aware of that. In the Caribbean does not allow camouflage in any way, shape, form, and or color. I know a lot of kids love to wear these, the backpacks, the hat. Some people have socks. The Caribbean, Bahamas, only the military of those countries are allowed to have camouflage clothing. So please, if you're going there, know that you cannot have, or you can have it while you're on the ship, but if you're going out on an excursion, camouflage clothing is a big no-no. Know that. So, also, yeah, food. You also want to make sure which cruise lines have the best cookies. Cookies! For those of you in the know, for those of you who sailed with Celebrity, Captain Kate McCue. Captain Kate, who left Celebrity a few years ago, maybe two or 3 years ago, for Four Seasons Cruise Line. She announced yesterday that she is retiring from being a captain on cruise lines. She's not giving up her captain's license, but she is retiring from being a captain on cruise ships to spend more time with family and friends. So we want to wish her the best of luck, Captain Kate. Love you. Wish you the best in everything that you do in the future. You and your new little naked kitty cat. So that's it for today. As always, if you like what you see here, if you like what I'm saying, if you like what I'm doing, hit that like or subscribe button, or please comment, because that's the way that YouTube knows that somebody's interested in what I have to say. If you don't like it, tell a foe. I don't care, just tell somebody, okay? All right. As always, love, peace, and hair grease, and get out and travel. Excuse me.